We just did a very good shoot interview with Shane Douglas. Do you have any comments about your experiences with him?
Shane Douglas was awesome. Again, I was only in the wrestling business a year and a half before I went to ECW, and the fact that, you know, guys would go out of their way to help me meant the world to me, because a lot of people tried to get it into ECW and not everybody stuck. You know, if you didn't immerse yourself into that locker room and fit in, you know, the ECW guys policed themselves pretty good. If you weren't cut out, you didn't hang around. And the fact that, you know, a guy like Shane Douglas would help me here and there, because there was a series of times where, you know, Sandman was brutal with that Singapore cane. I laugh about it now, but you know, I mean, sometimes he would hit you, and it felt like you were getting hit by a Louisville Slugger, you know. And, you know, sometimes he would cane you in the head, sometimes he'd get you in the nose, sometimes he'd get you in the teeth. One time, Sandman caned me right here perfectly in the forehead, and I reached over and he yanked a thing of skin off my back to where I went to lay down, you know, went to take a shower, and so as like the soapy water hit down, I'm like, ah. But there was a moment where in upstate New York, Orange County Fairgrounds, and we had done something with Raven. We weren't the BWO yet. We're still a Raven, but you know, it was always feed in. You know, Raven would go down, feed in. Same with whack one, whack the other, whack me, whack Nova, whack Stevie. And he whacked Stevie, and for whatever reason, Stevie just went down and his legs went to jelly, and they were worried about Stevie, and you know, Shane spoke up and it's like, hey man, you know, maybe you should take it a little bit easy on these kids. And like, you know, during the week, you know, my phone rings, I pick it up and it's Shane. Hey Brian, how you doing? Shane Douglas. And I go, hey Shane, how you doing? He's like, you all right? I know Stevie got hurt from that cane. How you feeling? You okay? I'm like, I'm good, but thank you for calling. And then we start talking about heavy metal, you know, because he's a big metalhead like me. But like, and like if I had a match, another cool thing about ECW, you could go out and have a match. You walk through the curtain and somebody will pull you aside, hey, this is good, but maybe try that or try this. And plenty of times, you know, Shane Douglas was that guy that, you know, pull me and anybody in the locker room and say, hey, this is cool, but do another thing. And I have to give Shane credit, because he, you know, made him along with guys like Terry Funk, Sabu, Taz, made ECW a place you would want to try to get into, because it seemed like the next big thing. You know, I remember those early ECW shows where, you know, there was barely a crowd, and, you know, ring announcer Bob Ortiz would have to get on the mic and say, hey, if you want to be seen on television, come fill the bleachers. You know, I'm trying to make everybody get on the opposite, you know, the opposite side of the hurricane, so the crowd would look full. But then, you know, there's Shane Douglas, Sabu, and Terry Funk drew our first legit sellout with the night the line was crossed, and that attendance was built on, you know, that feud with, you know, Shane Douglas, Sabu, and Terry Funk. And then Shane Douglas cut the promo of all promos, you know, with Sherry Martel and Todd Gordon, and just, you know, the first time you see somebody swear in a wrestling promo, even though they beeped it, you know he swear, you know he said the F word. You know, finally, I put to rest the fucking Funk family. You're like, oh my God, he just swore. That means he really meant that shit, you know? So, you know, he was one of the forefathers of ECW, and being a young guy in the company, the fact that he embraced me into the company along with all the other guys who were the, you know, the patriarchs of ECW and Extreme Wrestling and all that stuff. You know, it was I'm singling out Shane, but it was a group effort. But Shane was one of the guys that, you know, was the trailblazer and helped legitimize ECW, because he had come from, you know, WCW and NWA, and he was tag teaming with, you know, Ricky Steamboat and doing all this cool things. So the fact that he gave a shit enough to give me some advice was invaluable. I never got paid $1 million in this business, but one thing I did get paid royally in was experience and, you know, friendships.